Hello. Um, you're probably like, wait, what the hell? Where are we? What is this? What have I clicked on? Some things happened with pay per view stuff, but that's not important, all right? The important thing is we're on WWE.com direct, all right? The important thing is we've got a packed fucking show. The important thing
Yep.
is it's Saturday night and there's a main event.
I would say there's at least three.
Yeah, yeah, I think I would agree with that. Um, so we're going to yeah, because I guess we've not really explained this concept on video before, because
Yeah.
this is it. I have to explain this. So, pay-per-view, how much do I want to go into this? A little bit. Let's go with
Look, the pay-per-view companies caught wind of the steroid thing.
yeah.
And that's kind of a long story short, we're not on pay-per-view anymore.
Yeah.
And we won't be for a while.
Yeah. And so in the meantime, we're on WWE.com direct for free.
Free.
Go to WWE.com/direct right now. All you need is a
Yep.
email address or something, probably. I don't know.
You need a US address. Or there are a number of countries, but if you're signing up in the US, you need a US address.
You need an address that isn't in the UK.
Essentially, or Mexico.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's currently a pilot. It's rolling out to other countries eventually, but in certain parts of the country, definitely in the United States of America, you can watch WrestleMania 23 for free.
For free.
On WWE.com direct. That's, of course, in the fiction. In real life, if you want to watch it a day early, you're going to need to head over to our Patreon, which is linked in the description.
Unfortunately,
you can support us.
The fictional worlds remain better than our reality, folks. And so, yes, you must pay.
So we were thinking about changing up the format.
Anyways.
After Mania anyway.
Yeah.
So in real life, they move towards cross-branded pay-per-views at this point, which to me is the death knell of the brand split. Me and Tucker have been talking. Oh, go on.
I was just gonna say Saturday night's main event, kind of how we're doing it now, what you're going to see play out, was kind of an idea that we had anyways, right? We were. Yep. I think even this specifically was the setup that we were going to take after Mania, but we've kind of been forced to push it up a bit.
A bit early, yeah. And it's had some consequences for how some of the other shows are gonna work. But essentially, this is our solution to freshen up the format and to hopefully extend the lifespan of the brand split without doing anything crazy. And the idea is we're going to keep the big four pay-per-views. Once we get back on pay-per-view, we're going to be on pay-per-view still. We're still going to do the big four shows. So that's the Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and Survivor Series. Other than that, we're not going to be doing any more of the traditional pay-per-views. Instead, we're going to be doing we're going to be a bit flexible with it, but on average, about 2 Saturday Night Main events a month. They're going to be interpromotional. However, while both brands are going to appear on the show, we're still keeping the brands separate. So while, especially in these early Saturday Night Main events, we're going to do a lot of interpromotional stuff just for promotional sake to show it's possible. Once we get into the swing of things, you should see a relatively small amount of matches between Raw and SmackDown superstars. However, you're going to see Raw matches and SmackDown matches on the show. The idea is, because we do 2 a month, that one of the shows is going to be more Raw focused and one of the shows is going to be more SmackDown focused. But both shows can put matches on the card, so it means that we can protect some more matchups and feuds can be extended a little bit throughout the quieter periods of the year. Yeah. Anything else you want to add to that?
I don't think so. I think.
Oh, it also lets us do like special events or kind of experimental formats and things like if we want to do like a one night King of the Ring. Yeah. This is the perfect sort of format for it. Or if we have a massive TV match we want to build to, we could just stick it on this instead. If we need to do a trilogy over like 2 months instead of the 6 it would take in the old format, then we can do that. Or, there's so many other things. You're gonna the next Saturday night's main event might not be on YouTube. I don't know yet. But if it is, then you'll see that that's a good example of a completely different kind of show than the one you're going to see today.
Cool. I think we're locked and loaded and ready for SNME 1.
Awesome. Do we want to go down the card and explain what we're going to see? Because the thing about SNME is that it's low angles. These are going to be, this is a 2-hour broadcast show aiming to be about just over an hour and a half taped. So, where these are super cards. So there's not a lot of fucking about. Once we get the show rolling, there's going to be a lot of wrestling. So we decided to go back sort of to the old format where before we get started, we're going to tell you what the card looks like and what we're doing here. Because hopefully the idea is with SNME is that these aren't just random card filler matches, that everything's been built to.
Yeah, exactly. So from starting at the bottom, I guess, to the top of our card, or I guess in the format that we
have you got the card? I think it's probably better to do it in order of what they're going to see, honestly.
That's what I was going to do.
Cool.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Great.
So to kick off, we'll have our World Heavyweight Championship match as Batista defends against Montel Vontavious Porter, MVP. MVP beat Batista by
count
out, I think. Yeah.
Yep.
And ever since that victory, MVP has kept talking about how he has Batista's number. He's beaten him before. He can do it again. All that stuff. Batista, I think, took a little while to eventually get around to MVP. There's a lot of challengers for that World Heavyweight Championship. But it's finally MVP's spot. It is finally his time. And I think adding to that idea that it's finally his time is the stipulation that he is wormed into the contract that was signed between him and Batista on SmackDown. If Batista is counted out or disqualified tonight, Montel Vontavious Porter will be leaving as the World Heavyweight Champion.
Next up on the card, we've got Rene Sebastian Dupree taking on Carlito. Carlito is a very angry man. Carlito obviously failed to capture the WWE Championship at the Royal Rumble, but he, for a brief period, thought he was the champion. Or at least to us, it was a brief period. He still believes himself to be the real, rightful people's world champion and has been walking around with a championship belt to prove it. He clearly, with a lot of bitterness and anger within him, attacked Rene Dupree a couple of weeks ago. Rene Dupree has been going through a complicated period where he regained the Intercontinental Championship at the New Year's Revolution and then lost it again at the Royal Rumble. Rene's been kind of falling out or being in an argument with his manager and coach, Taz. And this past Monday on Raw, Rene took on Carlito and Taz convinced Rene to do it Taz's way. And unfortunately, that led to a loss because Carlito, angry as he is more cut out to deal with that sort of hectic, hardcore environment. Tonight, Rene's vowed to do it his way. Let's see if he gets a different result.
We have an Extreme Rules match, folks. It is the hardcore giant, the extreme big man, the Big Show himself. Ever since the ECW title and the ECW brand itself were kind of retired, Big Show has just roamed the countryside and attacked any and everyone with different forms of weapons, trying to prove that he is the most hardcore. Somebody who would take umbrage with this, I would call it a conquest, but I don't think Big Show even really has that set of an idea. He's kind of just going around attacking people. It's Tommy Dreamer, somebody who, in his own right, very much defines hardcore wrestling. That ECW idea. I guess it's time to fight some respect into the big man, I guess.
Why don't you take this next one as well?
Sure. Where am I here? This is the interpromotional, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So on SmackDown, Shelton Benjamin, the United States champion, has been, well, I guess it was only like once, realistically.
Yeah.
He has been...
We can say he's a fighting champion.
He is certainly a fighting champion, as he's been hosting, well, he hosted, a singular, but open challenges. There are open challenges occurring. Shelton is willing to put that title on the line against whoever wants a shot at it. And somebody...
I think it's whomever.
Oh, well, all right. You know what, you son of a bitch. Shelton said on SmackDown this past week, anybody could come out and challenge him for the U.S. Championship. Bobby Lashley from Raw came out, which was a big.
Holy.
Oh my. Teddy Long very angry that Bobby Lashley got into the building without his knowledge.
He had Teddy's permission. Remember, that was in the promo.
Oh yeah, wasn't it? Bobby Lashley had shown up to challenge the Cruiserweight champion Chavo Guerrero to a high-profile interpromotional match. However, upon seeing Shelton Benjamin out there in the ring, calling for quite literally any and everybody to come fight him, Bobby Lashley realized that Shelton Benjamin was actually the man he needed to beat. And so tonight, it's Intercontinental Champion versus United States Champion. No belts on the line, just a fight for honor and respect.
I've just thought you can yay or nay this. I just thought of a new interesting wrinkle to that.
Yeah.
What if it wasn't the call out that made Bobby realize that he was the guy, but the fact that there was nobody waiting in line to take it shows how dominant Shelton's been.
There you go. That's the good stuff.
Next up, then, Gregory Helms, Ken Shamrock, the final encounter. These two have been on a on-again, off-again partnership since the early summer when Ken Shamrock coached Gregory Helms into the King of the Ring tournament to good success. Now, these two men have had their ups and downs. They've been tag team partners. They've been a coach and a mentor and mentee. They've had victories. They fought each other at Survivor Series. They tried to hold it together. They tried to reunite. They tried to put their differences aside and just soldier on. And Gregory Helms is sick and tired of being the man who whines. And this Friday night on SmackDown, he said as much. And he said he's sick. He's sick to his stomach of the fact that he's turned from one of the greatest cruiserweights of all time into just some whiny bitch. And so he's prepared to put all that aside because he's realized what's at the heart of all of his problems. It's Ken Shamrock. Greg and Ken, when they look at each other, it just eats them up inside that they haven't decisively proved who's the better man. So tonight, they're going to do it. They're going to fight one last time for all of the bragging rights, for all of the marbles. It's Gregory Helms, it's Ken Shamrock, and it's pure rules. 3 rope breaks each, no closed fist strikes to the face. There will be a winner. No time limit on this one. Gregory Helms, Ken Shamrock. With limited number of rope breaks, who is the better wrestler?
And finally, in the main event, The Undertaker won the Royal Rumble. Which, I mean, good for him. But he is not challenging John Cena. He has decided that he will challenge the winner of the Dave Bautista Montel Vontavious Porter match tonight for the World Heavyweight Championship. Which means Monday Night Raw was tasked with finding a number 1 contender for John Cena. No small feat.
Or Shawn Michaels.
That's true. Or Shawn Michaels. Yeah, we got that match on Raw. Oh, jeez. We put together essentially a tournament, kind of. It was a series of 3 triple threat matches, all leading to this triple threat match. The winners of each of those in order were Mark Henry, Rob Van Dam, and Randy Orton. We're in a steel cage tonight. It's a number 1 contenders match. Whoever walks out of that steel cage gets to go to WrestleMania, gets to fight for the WWE Championship, gets to fight John Cena.
It doesn't get any bigger.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know what else to add. I'm like, that's the deal.
The lights are on bright. It's Saturday night here in Memphis, Tennessee. The crowd is raucous. We have 2 chances to put your name in lights and go to WrestleMania and lots of other main event quality matches on the card.
Let's do it. Welcome to Saturday Night's main event.
Yep. This video says what we just said.
Exactly. All that stuff. Vince McMahon is in the ring, and it's very dramatic. Soft lighting. He looks into the camera and just says...
It's a spotlight, I'd like to think, right? He's in his tux, and it's a spotlight on him. Yep.
Fuck you, pay-per-view. I do what I want. And the lights go up, and we've got 11,411 people here in the FedEx Forum. I do what I want. And I think we've got Teddy Long out here. Holla Holla Players. Dave Bautista MVP. They're coming.
Yep.
We're doing this now.
Hell yeah.
Pretty good. So this match, with that stipulation, I know Puddy and I traded back ideas and stuff like that on MVP, very desperately trying to win this match by count out or by DQ. I think one spot was Batista's been like knocked to the outside. MVP's trying to win by count out, as he did on SmackDown this week. And just at 9, Dave is able to drag himself back up on the apron and start to maybe try to put things back together. And MVP hits him with the running big boot, the player's boot, ?
That sounds right.
And Batista falls back to the floor, and maybe he can hit the barricade or something. And it's like, oh my god! And then he, gets back in at 9 again.
I also like, obviously, this is quite a short match, so we've only got time for a few spots. But I think another one that he could pull off is a big elbow through the announcer table.
I like that.
Where he gets in at 8 or 9 himself, and then Batista also is still out there, like barely getting up. We should also mention, since we're over at the announce area, that we have a special announce team for Saturday night's main event. William Regal and Jim Ross.
Yep.
They're not a permanent. We're gonna switch it up every show, but they're your announce team for tonight.
Yeah. So Batista does it. He eventually gets his hands on MVP, and the shenanigans stop as Batista puts him into the fucking mat, and he looks ready to go for Mania, in my opinion. The Undertaker awaits
versus Batista. Yeah, no more distractions.
We could pre-book that if we wanted to.
I think we already have.
Well done. Well done. All right. Up next, it's Carlito and Renee.
And Renee does get the job done with a Taz mission.
That's big. That's big.
Yeah.
Even when doing things his own way, Renee and Taz are still kind of on the same page, kind of a unit.
It just goes to show you that even if Renee's not willing to be Taz, doesn't mean he can't take some things from Taz.
There you go. And then we've got our
hardcore match. Extreme Rules.
Hell yeah. I like to think Tommy Dreamer's winning this by just like breaking a 2x4 over his head.
Like, just repeatedly.
Crack. Yeah, just crack. Big Show dies.
Yeah, I think this is just all gas. These two men, like Big Show comes to the ring with his standard fucking trash can full of weapons, hands some to Tommy, and is like, stand and bang.
Let's do it.
He just does.
First man to go down loses.
And that man is the Big Show.
It's a big win for Tommy Dreamer. Big fucking win.
Let's see if it'll manifest in anything.
Yeah, let's see what he does next. We've got John Cena backstage. He's with Maria Kanellis, and she's going to ask him about the main event tonight. Steel Cage, Rob Van Dam, Randy Orton, Mark Henry. Who would he rather see at WrestleMania?
Well, Maria, that's always a trick question. I'm never going to answer that with a name, because I'm a fighting champion and I'll fight anyone that comes. But I tell you what, I'm so glad that this triple threat tonight is those 3 guys, because they're all young, they're all hungry, and they're all guys that I know I'm going to have a great contest with if they win and they go to WrestleMania. Now, Rob Van Dam, I fought a lot. The other 2 I fought a lot less of. But I don't think me and RVD, I don't think we're done. We've had some back and forth contests, but the only real time that we've had a one-on-one main event level match was in the ECW arena, hostile ground. Won't be the same in Detroit, Michigan if Rob Van Dam makes it to WrestleMania 23. Randy Orton, multiple-time world champion. Hell of a guy, still young. So am I. I know that hunger in his eyes. I've seen it. I know he's a killer. He can beat me in a second. But I know over the course of a main event level match, I can beat anybody. Mark Henry's the world's strongest man. He's had a hell of a year. He put The Undertaker on the shelf for multiple months. He defeated the Samoan bulldozer Umaga, and I've fought that guy. I survived that guy, and I know how tough that is. I'm just so glad that these 3 young, fresh guys are in this main event, and it's not somebody like Shawn Michaels or Triple H that I've fought over and over and over again. And I've proven that the present is now, and the champ is here. Those guys are great. They're legends. They're icons. But their time is up. and my time is now. And unfortunately, Shawn Michaels can't get that through his head. And this Monday night on Raw, if you want to tune in, I'll have to teach him that lesson again.
Perfect. All right. We getting all grown up right afterwards. WrestleMania's coming soon.
Interpromotional match?
You believe so. It's Benjamin, it's Lashley. Oh.
They don't quite click.
Fair. Yeah, so
Shelton wins.
Yeah, Lashley's gonna use his strength, I imagine, to keep control of this match for a while. But Benjamin's a better wrestler. He's a smarter wrestler.
He's also very strong. Very large.
Shelton, the big guy.
Yep, he's like 6'4", I think.
Jesus Christ. Dude, WWE, all right, WWE. They, crazy. For a company that loves their big people, you'd think they'd learn, like, hiring only big people makes them look not big. Like,
yeah.
It's like, the Kenny Dykstra thing still blows my mind. That dude's like 6'4", and I was like, what?
Okay, so fuck? he's built at 6'2". He's 6'2", 250, but he's a big guy. But Bobby's probably a significant bit bigger than him in this match.
Yeah,
but it's not like a heavyweight versus a cruiserweight.
No, not at all. But Lashley's going to use his superior strength to have control of the match for a while. But Shelton's smarter. He's probably at this point just better.
Oh yeah,
and he proves it. He's undoubtedly just better.
Yeah. But, I mean, Lashley was impressive.
Oh, yeah,
and although you're right, I think just Shelton clearly had this, and he's clearly better. But you run this back 10 times, Shelton doesn't win 10 out of 10.
No. I doubt anybody does, but yeah.
Well, one man who says that he does is Ken Shamrock, because he beat Gregory Helms at Survivor Series. And he beat him pretty convincingly. Ken Shamrock is a guy who is a lot heavier, a lot stronger than Gregory Helms. And they both have an incredible sort of mastery of technical wrestling. So when both guys are at that level, it really is that size and that strength that makes the difference.
So here we go. Pure rules. Let's
explain to us by who was it? Who's the ref for this?
Scott Armstrong.
Scott Armstrong is going to tell us what pure rules are. Okay. All right. Yeah.
Greg Helms does it.
By submission. Ignore that. Yeah.
You got anything planned with this?
Not really. I don't think this is going to be a particularly well-built pure rules match where they really probably build to the rope breaks or anything. I like to think this is just us trying to imitate the McGuinness stuff from last year, and I like that. It's not, it's just the WWE version.
That. Yeah. No, the moment you were saying that, like, it doesn't really properly build. I was like, oh yeah, it's like it's WWE seeing that and being like, well, we could do that easily.
Yeah, but
not understanding why anybody likes it or why it's interesting.
And I think Gregory Helms does. I think Gregory Helms probably watched those matches. But Ken Shamrock doesn't really.
No. Helms probably tried to show them to Ken, and Ken's like, what was that shit?
I'm just going to work a MMA match, right?
No,
that's what you want. And Greg's like, kinda, but not exactly.
Yeah. Do we have any more segments for our main, or are we going right into number one contender stuff?
We have
one more at least.
We have one.
Yeah.
One angle.
Backstage.
It's that one. Yeah.
Shawn Michaels and Triple H sit down. They're excited. Who will face Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania?
I didn't even know that's where you were going with this angle. That's so good.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Listen, all right. Shawn's gonna win the title tomorrow or Monday, so he's got to figure out who he's got to fight.
Yeah, I love it.
And who will Shawn Michaels take on at WrestleMania? Wow, guys, what the fuck? It's Mark Henry.
Oh, we didn't get any. We didn't get any story on this. I guess.
You're right. Oh well, whatever.
Either way, it is Mark Henry. It was an exceptional match, Tucker. Ignore the rating. Look at the word.
I don't give
exceptional match.
Mark Henry.
Mark Henry's throwing people into the cage. Rob Van Dam's jumping off it for some reason. Orton is. I feel like this is actually one of the standout things from this match for me personally. Is Randy Orton is more rattled, more lost, more sort of in no man's land, deer in the headlights, than he's ever been in his career. This man was world champion at 21 years old, but he's in there with a force of chaos and a monster in a cage, and he just doesn't know what to do.
I was gonna say, it's like he goes one way and it's like, oh, there's the human brick wall, and he turns the other way and it's like, oh, there's the human Beyblade. Just like, what the Rob's just doing spin kicks out of the corner like a video game. He's just spamming them. He's like, wah wah wah.
I like to think there's a middle section of the map where like Randy embraces the chaos and does nothing but try to hit the RKO, and it's not really working. But at one point he does hit it on Rob, and like the pin gets broken up. He's like, okay, if I just keep doing this, eventually maybe it'll work. But unfortunately, it doesn't work because Mark Henry, this is what he does. He puts pain on people, and he's had an exceptional year. The Undertaker couldn't stop him. The Samoan Bulldozer couldn't stop him, and now Randy Orton and Rob Van Dam couldn't stop him. He's the number one contender. He's going to WrestleMania. John Cena, can he stop him?
I like to think it looks like Rob's gonna like escape the cage maybe, and Mark just like pulls him down right into the slam and just plants him, and that's the finish.
I like that too. Yeah.
There you go. We don't care. Shut the fuck up.
Shh, shh, shh.
Shut the fuck up. That's not real. You made that up. That's not even.
Hey, Tucker. We don't have broadcasters to listen to anymore.
I'll kill you, TEW. Yeah, talking to people real quick.
Even though I know it was our fault, let's have all three of the people in the main event and tell them they could do better.
I like it. I love that shit.
That's
peak. Vince has lost his mind, so. I accidentally tell one of them they're awesome. I'm like, wait, no, that's not what I meant to say. Shit. Dun dun dun. I love the dun dun dun. At least for now. Wow,
legitimately though, we don't have broadcasters to answer to anymore. We don't care about the ratings.
Mark didn't even react to that, by the way. I told him he could do better, and he didn't even just walk away. He was just like, oh.
That's what I like. He grabbed the brass ring is what he did.
Our merchandising operation has successfully upgraded to award-winning level.
Peep this viewership we're about to see, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Yeah, that's a number.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's pretty high.
Yeah.
Actually, I was expecting it to be slightly higher, but all right. I mean, it's higher than we've ever had before. I mean, check the all-time numbers for viewership.
Sure.
I'm curious.
We're still with YouTube here, by the way.
Yeah.
We just to mention it. They're still over there. They're still looking at me. We're the
top 100s. You were right next to it.
Sorry, jeez. All right. TV ratings. Yeah.
Isn't there a viewership one?
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, because then that includes pay-per-view.
There's your difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should do you want me to announce what the next? Are we doing the next SNME on YouTube?
Sure.
By the sound of what Tucker just said, he may change his mind. So you might not see this, but if you do,
I think they will. I think they will. I would want to record it. It's just I don't know if you would want to because you had said.
I'm down to because I don't think we're going to be doing the one after that because that one's the like Mania Go Home show or whatever it is, the Mania Saturday Night Heat that we're going to do.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So the next. Do you want me to announce what the next SNME is going to be?
Yeah, go ahead.
Saturday night's main event, No Way Out, Cruiserweight Elimination Chamber match for the Cruiserweight Heavyweight Championship. The Cruiserweight Heavyweight Junior Lightweight Championship.
Beautiful. I think that's been the very first SNME. I think no. I know. We'll see you guys eventually at some point for more of this. Puddy, do you got anything you want to say to the fine people at YouTube? We've got links below to your Twitch, your YouTube, and then the VODs channel where we do our TVs.
I'm good.
All
Thank you
right.
all for watching.
That's it. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.